going on, Who Dat Nation? One of my favorite segments we have here at Saints Now by Chat Sports, our live Q&A mailbag, where you guys have questions, we have answers. So I'm going to be responding to questions and hot takes from our weekly live shows every single Wednesday, 4 p.m. Central Time. For what it's worth, we're going to be having a lot of fun live content kicking up, especially with training camp around the corner. So be sure to subscribe to Saints Now by Chat Sports, turn on your notifications, and make sure that you know that you're informed. If you haven't subscribed already, what the heck are you doing? Turn that red sub button gray and turn on those notifications. That way you can be a smarter Saints fan, and that way you know what's going on around your favorite football team. Danny G, she said, I want that swag new white helmet holding down the Who Dat Nation in Southern California. What's the Saints' biggest area of need? Keep on killing it. Well, first of all, Danny G, I appreciate the kind words. Thank you so much. Second of all, she's talking about I want that swag new white helmet. The new white Saints helmets dropped, and at the end of the month, we're going to be doing a raffle for a Saints white helmet. So if you want to join the raffle, tune into our weekly live shows and you can figure out how you can be a part of those. Friendly reminder to sub. Now, what's the biggest area of need? I'm going to say big-bodied pass catcher. I feel like that's just the most glaringly obvious hole on the Saints roster. You can make an argument for cornerback. You can make an argument for quarterback. I personally think that big body wide receiver is the biggest need. Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, Gabe Davis are a few names to consider. Lopez, what about you? What do you think on this one?
Just kind of sticking on the offensive side of the ball, I think we got to find a running back 2 behind Alvin Kamara. Yeah. He's getting a little old in age. Kendre Miller, we need to see this is kind of make or break year, or is it going to be a guy like Devin Neal is going to step up and be that RB2? Yep. So I think the guy's in the building, but we just have to see now.
I like that. I think that's pretty fair. I think it's definitely a fair question to bring up, too. And definitely fair answers. Like, we got to see who can be the backup running back. Who's going to be the guy after Alvin Kamara retires? I mean, he still looks like he's going to play at a high level, and he still is playing at a high level, but eventually we got to see what happens, around this team. So we're going to get to some more questions here. Next one coming in from a legend here. Jaden Barden. Give me some key players that we need to watch at training camp. All right, I'll give you 3. Alontae Taylor. I don't want to say Kool-Aid McKinstry again, too, for a cool. I don't want to say Kool-Aid McKinstry because that's. But I feel like Kool-Aid McKinstry. I feel like you should be paying attention to him. You knew it was coming. Danny Stutzman, number 3. Yeah, we're gonna drop those Stutz. If you need an offensive player, shoot, man. I mean, Spencer Rattler, the quarterback battle, that's going to be a fun one to watch. Kendre Miller, Devin Neal, definitely players to watch. Lopez, who are 3 guys that you're going to be paying attention to? Because I have a hard time just picking 3. My 3, I'm going to say Danny Stutzman, Kool-Aid McKinstry, and Kendre Miller. Those are the 3 that I'm going to say.
I'm going to stick with kind of what I was saying last question. Want to see what Devin Neal has. He is very interesting to me. Mm-hmm. Bub Means.
Oh, great one.
He could be that big body receiver.
Great one.
Maybe we already have in building. And number 3, I know, cliche, we're going to stick with the same answer here, but you've sold me on Danny Stutzman. I want to see. I'm buying all my Stutz stock now.
Yep. I'm a dirty little Stutz.
I love a good dirty little stud.
Yeah, quarterback battle obviously is one to pay attention to as well. I think that's going to be a very exciting battle that goes on throughout training camp. So, Jaden, I hope that we gave you a handful of players that you can get excited about or at least start paying attention to or, at least have a place to start. Shake and bake. I want the Saints to bring A.T. Perry back. Damn, a name I didn't think we'd hear in a long time. This one coming in on our live mailbag. I want the Saints to bring back A.T. Perry. For what it's worth, I don't know why in the hell the Saints ever decided to cut A.T. Perry. Dennis Allen making a terrible decision in that regard. He was extremely productive, very, very effective, very, very efficient, was very reliable. Really could fill a void in the New Orleans Saints roster because of his size and whatnot. But for what it's worth, there were a lot of question marks around why his availability was limited and why he wasn't on the field. And, there's reports out there that kind of question whether or not he was committed. And, there was a lot of just conversations going on around whether or not this player is, really great and, what's going on there. I don't necessarily know what to make of it, but I can tell you this. He might miss some time at training camp for the Denver Broncos. Obviously, the Saints cut A.T. Perry. The Broncos and Sean Payton went and signed him to the practice squad last October. He was absent from mandatory minicamp. So for A.T. Perry, a player that has had some questions and question marks around his preparation and his commitment to the game and his attitude, if you will. I do think that that's something to consider. I don't know if I would bring him back just because the looks of him missing practice isn't a great observation. It's not a great look, but I do think that it's something to maybe consider if he doesn't make the roster or sign him off their practice squad. Saints need a big-bodied player, and honestly, I don't know why the hell they ever let him go. Would you bring back A.T. Perry? Let me know in the comments section. Obviously, unless he's on the active roster. If he's on the active roster, you'd have to trade for him. If he gets cut, you could just go and sign him if he makes it through waivers. Otherwise, you could just go and sign him off their practice squad in Denver. Quinn Courtney, what is your current projected record since everything is up in the rolling practice-wise? Okay. I'm going to say 7 wins. I'm going to say 7-10, and I think that's a fair assessment to make because I don't think that this team is going to be as bad as everyone says. I don't think this is going to be the number 1 overall pick at the 26 NFL draft. But I do think that this team will not be absolutely amazing. I think that they'll win a couple close games. I think they'll lose a couple of close games. And so for that reason, I'm going to go 7-10 as my record prediction, which would be an improvement from last year. 7-10, I think, is a pretty good benchmark to shoot for a first-time head coach, a rookie quarterback, new vibes, new team, new everything. I think that that's something that wouldn't be the end of the world if you ask me, but I'm personally going to say 7 wins. I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments, though. Summer is here, ladies and gentlemen, so let me tell you about today's presenting sponsor, and it is Chubby's Shorts. One of my favorite things that I have in my entire wardrobe are my Chubby's swimsuits, the shorts, the polos. The gear that I got from Chubby Shorts is so fresh, and we got a little sweet deal for you, Saints fans. If you are a loyal viewer of the show, we got 20% off your purchase, chubbyshorts.com/chat. The link is clickable in the comments and description of this video. So just go scroll on down, check out the pinned comment, click on it, and you can check out the awesome sale that they got going on. Whether you're poolside, lakeside, oceanside, or you got a little honey on your side, that long-awaited vacation has finally here, and these trunks from Chubby's are made to travel. Life's too short for uncomfortable swim trunks. So these babies are set up for all-day comfort with a quick, dry stretch fabric and built-in liner that actually does its job. No more chafing, no more swamp ass, no more mesh disasters, and I can tell you this, you will be the best looking guy at the pool. They got vibrant patterns, really, really cool patterns as well. Really, really colorful stuff. It's fun. It's festive. It's exciting. And I'll tell you what, I got to rock my American flag swimsuit at the 4th of July party I was at this past weekend. I looked the absolute best. And that's thanks to Chubby's Shorts. So whether you're suiting up for cannonballs, cookouts, or casual Fridays, Chubby's has you covered. For a limited time, Chubby's is giving listeners to Saints Now by Chat Sports 20% off your order with code CHAT at chubbyshorts.com. That's code CHAT at chubbyshorts.com. Support the show and let them know we sent you. Summer's here. Dress like it in Chubby's. The link has been made clickable in the comments and description. Friendly reminder to go check out Chubby Shorts today. Goal So Sporty. Who is your top free agent the Saints should go after? Keenan Allen or Amari Cooper? Asante Samuel Jr. No question about it. My number 1 free agent target for the New Orleans Saints is Asante Samuel Jr. The 25-year-old cornerback would be an excellent addition to the New Orleans Saints defense. He has ties to Brandon Staley. He's still a very productive football player. If he can check out and clear the medical side of things, then I am all in on signing this player to the New Orleans Saints. He would be a lot he'd give me a lot more confidence in this cornerback group than what we currently have. And that's not to take a knock on Isaac Yiadom. I just think that if you add Asante Samuel Jr. into the mix, I think that it's just a much more skilled group, and it raises the overall talent level of the cornerback and defensive back groups as a whole. I would love to sign Asante Samuel Jr., but maybe Gabe Davis is an option. Rasul Douglas is another one. You also have players available like Julian Blackman, DJ Chark, Marcus Williams, Will Hernandez, Matthew Judon, Von Miller, Carson Wentz, Tyler Huntley, Deontay Hardy, I think, is a free agent. I'm not totally sure, but I mean, there's a handful of players out there, but my number one has got to be Asante Samuel Jr. Great question, Cole. Thank you for asking. Aura, thoughts on the Saints? Okay, hold on. Thoughts on the Saints trading Spencer Rattler if he loses the QB battle? I had to do a double take on that one. I'm going to go ahead and say no, I would not trade Spencer Rattler, especially if he loses the quarterback battle. I don't think it would make much sense to me personally. I think it would be smarter to keep him around because at the bare minimum, he could be a high-level backup, and high-level backups are very valuable in this league. And I think that Spencer Rattler does have something to show. He has something to prove. And for the record, I think that we're going to at least get to see Tyler Shuck have his chance this year. But just because Tyler Shuck gets the more opportunity this year doesn't mean Spencer Rattler is, just gone and out of sight, out of mind. I do think that he's a player that the Saints should keep around. Lopez, what do you think?
I think Spencer Rattler going into year 2, if you trade him just because he lost the QB battle or rookie Tyler Shuck, all that you already put in Tyler Shuck, you just put even more on that.
Yeah.
You're basically,
you put even more
you're basically gambling everything on Tyler Shuck working out.
Yes.
And that, I just don't know if you can do that.
Well, the other thing, too, that I'll mention is if you do try to trade Spencer Rattler right now, his value is going to be at an all-time low. I mean, he's 0-7 or 0-6. He started 6 games. He lost all his starts. And then he didn't win the game against the Commanders when he came in at halftime and tried to save it for Jake Haener. I just don't think it makes sense to trade him. I'm going to say no. I would avoid trading Spencer Rattler. I'd keep him around because I do think that this is a competition that's very, very far from over. And the quarterback position, I don't think will be set in stone this season. I think it's a position that we'll continue to take a look at over the next couple of years until we truly get our guy and somebody that we're confident and that can be the franchise quarterback. So, Aura, thank you for the question. Trading Spencer Rattler, that's definitely one I did not have on my bingo card. Mr. Filmer, is the new alternate helmet with the color rush is better than the Vikings with the Winter Warrior jerseys and white helmet? I think that the color rush uniforms are the best uniforms in the league. Here's kind of a look at what we should expect with the color rush uniforms and the new helmet. I think these are the best looking uniforms in the league, and they just got better with these new helmets. The all-white Icy Warrior whatever for the Vikings, those are fresh. I don't want to take anything away from those. Those are absolutely sick. But maybe I'm a little biased. They're pretty sick. These are pretty damn good looking. I'm going to keep it real with you. The gold face mask just looks so fresh. The detail on the helmets is so cool, too. You got the little fleur-de-lis down the stripe in the middle. It works perfectly with the color rush. You got the black speckled look on the helmet as well. Like, I'm all in on this helmet. I think that this looks so clean. I think it's going to be such a beautiful look. I was trying to say good and beautiful. It's such a beautiful look with the color rush uniform. I'm excited to see this on Sundays. I'm going to personally say I think this is better than the all-white Vikings uniforms and the white Tigers. Maybe I'm a little biased, but you asked me, and I'm going to give you my opinion. Never forget, will the Saints be the worst team in the NFL? No, and I'm tired of this narrative of people saying they will be. You really expect me to believe that the New Orleans Saints, who have players like Demario Davis, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, Alvin Kamara, Taysom Hill, granted he won't be available until later in the season. You have Chase Young, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Alante Taylor, Justin Reed. You got some talent on that team. You really expect me, Eric McCoy, one of the best centers in the National Football League. Like, you really expect me to believe that team is going to rank 32nd overall, and that team will have the number 1 overall pick? Not the Giants, who honestly I think will actually be pretty solid. So I don't know why I mentioned them. I think the Giants will actually be all right. But I don't think that they're going to be amazing. I'm not convinced that the Browns are going to be great. I'm not convinced that the Titans are going to be great. Like, the worst team is the question. No, I don't think they're going to be the worst team. I don't think the Panthers are going to be that great this year. Like, Lopez, I have a hard time believing that the Saints are going to be the worst team in the National Football League.
I'm not upset if they are the worst team. I know they're not going to be the best team out there.
Yeah.
I just want them to be fun.
Yeah.
I want to turn my TV on Sundays and just be like, okay, I get to watch the Saints. It's not, I have to watch the Saints.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't think that this is going to be a team that every single week is a guaranteed win for whoever they're playing against. But I'm not going to sit here and say they're going to go win the Super Bowl, but to sit here and tell me that this team with a smart head coach and Kellen Moore, with the weapons and the tools that they have, both offensively and defensively. Brandon Staley is a defensive coordinator. Last time he had this position, he won a Super Bowl, had the number 1 defense in the National Football League. Like, I'm sorry. I just have a hard time believing the fact that the Saints will be the worst team in the National Football League. It's a lazy take. It's an uneducated take. And if you hear people saying that, they are outing themselves for not knowing ball. Who Dat Nation, I really do appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling with us. Thank you for tuning into our mailbag every single week. We do these Wednesdays on our live shows, and then we put them out on the weekend. So if you want to tune into our live shows, and if you want an opportunity to win the new white Saints helmet, be sure to subscribe. Tune in on Wednesdays. Y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time.